Hello, good day, and welcome here to La Token Venture Capital. Today, Friday, 1st of April. My name is Xavier. I'll be your host for today. And like every session, we want to bring you the innovation, technology, and solutions you want to hear about. And you get to hear it directly from the co-founders or the CEOs of the project. And the best part is you can directly make questions to them. On the right side, you will see a chat box. There you can write the questions, the comments, and we will bring them forward. So this is a fantastic opportunity to get directly in contact with the project and ask them any question, any doubt that you might have. Now, before we move on to this great interview, as a reminder to our viewers, you can see our previous shows and content by visiting atucken.com/VCTV/shows. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, and you will have great content, great opportunities, and you'll even receive giveaways. As one very important reminder, anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. Please do your research before making any decision. It's your choices and your responsibility. With that said, I would like to introduce a great project called MedCareCoin. And MedCareCoin is represented by Paul McCauley, the CEO. So please let's welcome Paul. How are you today? Welcome to the
Very
show.
well, very well, Xavier. Thank you.
Great having you here.
Yeah, it's great to
And
be here.
again, to our viewers, please remember you are able to address any questions to Paul or any comments that you might have for this project. So, Paul, fantastic to hear about this. I was reviewing the website, and it's a medical property token where you can directly own medical real estate assets. Now, that is something
Yes.
completely new. Never heard about that. So, before we move into that, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and the team behind this project?
Well, I'm an Irish property developer and also a member of the Irish Institute of Bankers and associate. Really, Medcare Coin came about just looking at different applications for the use of crypto within the property sectors and researching the property sectors and where there's an actual need for investments. So there's a massive requirement in investment in the medical and healthcare property sector. So that's where I came up with MedCare Coin, doing research. I've been doing research on it for the last 2 or 3 years. And yeah, this is how MedCare Coin came to be.
So, already to work in 2, 3 years on the project.
Of course, mostly research looking at World Health Organization statistics and data, looking at how governments are actually investing money into this sector or not, and looking at requirements in the next 20 to 30 years for investment into the sector. As there's an ever increasing aged population, then there's going to be a requirement for investment and new facilities in prime medical and healthcare sector and services, real estate properties. So, yeah.
Okay. And Paul, by trade, you are investment advisor, or what is your background?
My background was property development, residential acquisition and sales of lands and properties. But as I said, I'm trying to move away from that actual sector into something more meaningful and purposeful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I found it in blockchain and cryptocurrency. Going forward, I believe it's the future. So this is where I want to focus my time and efforts now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Very good. Well, you do have the right background for it. Now, for our viewers, I would like to show them a video about Medicare Coin so they can have a better understanding. And once we show that video, then I think we can jump on in the rest of questions we have. Is that fine with you, Paul?
That's excellent. Yes, Xavier, go ahead, please.
Okay. Let's have a look at this.
Now you can own medical real estate. MedCare Coin is a digital work of art created and sold to acquire prime medical and healthcare real estate into a Medcare exchange. MedCare Coin will be traded on the Medcare Exchange blockchain ledger and qualifying dexes. One Medcare Coin will be equal to one share on Medcare Exchange. Medcare Exchange will source prime medical and healthcare real estate property via approved and established sourcing partners and investment advisors. This is a great opportunity to hold and benefit from valuation raises in acquisitions of prime medical and healthcare real estate property. To know more, visit our website at MedCareCoin.com.
Great. Thank you very much for that video. Very illustrative. Now, to begin with, several of us, and I have to include myself, are not very familiar with the medical real estate market. Can you please, as an intro, tell us a little bit about it? Why is it relevant?
Well, at the present time, annually there's about $11 trillion spend worldwide. If you look at the USA, for example, it will be the leader in that segment, whereas they would have about a 4.9 trillion annual spend, which makes up 42% of the market. Now, as well as that, if you look at investments going into new builds, in particular care homes, hospitals, facilities as such, medical buildings, there's a massive need for new investment into those sectors and segments now and well into the future, as there's simply not enough facilities there to meet the ever-growing population demand, and moreover, the people are living longer, they're getting older, so Generation X, unfortunately, Generation Z are going to have to invest now to look after their parents and grandparents in the future. So, yeah, that's pretty much the overall sector, like insofar as spend per annum. But if for example, you look at Canada at the minute, well, the latest report by CMA Health Advocates showed that there was a need for 200,000 new care beds or care home beds to be constructed by 2035. So that would require over the next number of years a $200 billion investment. Now, the Canadian government don't actually have that type of money to invest year on year, so it turns to the private sector to invest into that. There are, of course, investors and developers that working in that sector, but there's going to need to be a new medium, a new way to invest into development of that sector, like that segment. But that's only one demographic. Like Canada has a population of 40 million people, so if you take in the whole world, for example, there's a massive requirement for investment into new care homes, new medical facilities, new medical buildings, office buildings, right across the whole demographic and segments and sectors, So, yeah, this is where MedCareCoin comes in. Like, we are trying to create our own blockchain Medcare exchange that the properties will be acquired onto. And then MedCareCoin itself will be equal to 1 share within that actual Medcare exchange. So therefore, anybody that holds a token will actually have a share in the actual property itself and the holding company. So, yeah, is there any, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, a couple of questions that came to my mind.
I was starting to ramble there, starting to go on. So, yeah, just
no, that's good. That's good to have that. So, first question is: so when we're talking about medical real estate, the first thing to my mind that will come up is like hospital.
Of course.
But from what I understand, is not really that part of medical. Can also be like retirement homes and so on, right?
That's correct, yes. Retirement homes, hospitals, medical office buildings, as well as that on the retail side, we have chemist shops, which would be high volume over-the-counter retail sales for cash flow. Like, the business model will be split 50-50, 50% into real property acquisitions and 50% into retail, such as small chemist shops acquired into a larger chain of Medcare Exchange dash Pharma. So we have both cash flow and real property holdings as well. As well as that, the real property holdings will have capital appreciation year on year, and as well as that, any MedCareCoin token holders who want to actually share, long-term token holders who will want to share. So therefore that they will actually receive an end-of-year dividend as well on the profits from those properties and businesses. So, yeah.
And MedCareCoin, will you focus on certain geographical markets, like certain cities, or?
Well, yeah, it'll be larger cities that will be focusing on satellite towns as well, commuter belts, in the Western countries at the present time, but EMEA as well. Europe, Middle East, and Asia as we grow.
Mhm.
Like we have to start somewhere, so we're going to focus on, I think, Canada and the UK and
Okay.
the USA, those demographics, and then we're going to expand as we grow and increase in value, and we have further liquidity. Then we'll acquire assets in other countries as well. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
That makes
but
sense.
it's a three stage development. Really, first liquidity, raise the books, and then acquire the assets, develop Medcare Exchange, and then the third stage we will be looking at pharmaceuticals, both production and supply chains. So yeah, full cycle.
Okay, great. Fantastic. And going back a little bit at the very beginning, and you might have already touched part of this topic, but what was the problem that you foresaw and motivated you and your co-founders to start the project?
Well, as I said, the problem is their governments are under pressure. If you look at even the UK and Ireland, there's waiting lists to be seen at doctors. There's waiting lists to get a bed in the hospital. The simple fact of the matter is government deficits and spends. They don't actually have the facilities or the resources to meet the current demands. So therefore, uh, there needs to be a new medium, and the new medium is cryptocurrency, MedCareCoin, and blockchain ledger and inward investment from Generation X into MedCareCoin to acquire existing facilities and develop new facilities also. So yeah, that's where it was born out of MedCareCoin. Just looking around me here and seeing what's happening here in Ireland and what's happening in the UK. There's a massive need for inward investment into the sectors.
Yeah, and I think the problem will just get bigger and bigger,
Of
as you said
course,
before.
it's a supply demand chasm that's ever increasing. It's opening, and there's no way that current governments or even private investment within private development banks can actually get the proper level of investment and development that's required. So
Yeah.
I think with more people adopting cryptocurrency and adopting blockchain, particularly this new generation, as a medium of investment, then I think that's where Medicare Coin will come in, and we'll try and fix it to a certain degree. you know.
Yeah, I remember seeing a report, like I think a month ago, about baby boomers, and the topic was basically party is over. They already had their good time, they're building their wealth. Now they're getting
Yeah,
older, they're having all these health issues they have to be taken care of, and so on. So there's this major influx, this mass of people going in order to get help from all these health institutions. Obviously, there's not enough resources. I don't think any
of
government
course.
in the world would have the type of resources that will be expected to take
Yes,
care of all these people.
that's exactly. There's a massive issue and problem there, and there's a requirement for investment. So Medicare Coin has come about for that same reason. More people are adopting crypto and blockchain, and I think a lot of people are investing into crypto and blockchain rather than traditionally saving in banks and things as such. So that's how we came about with Medicare
Yeah,
Coin.
yeah, I totally agree. I'm an ex banker turned crypto
Yeah.
fanatics. Yeah, it is. It is like you said.
Yeah,
Paul, there's one thing that we like to do in the show, right?
of course.
Imagine you and me, we're longtime buddies, and we bump into the street, and I ask you, "What's up? What are you doing?" Can you, in 2 minutes, explain about Medicare Coin to me? And imagine I'm not a blockchain wizard. I don't have much idea. Just in normal plain language. Can you explain under 2 minutes the project?
Uh, Medicare Coin is a stable token that'll be backed by real property. Anybody that owns Medicare Coin will own a share in the property. They will also have, if they're long-term holders, they will actually get a return on that share that they hold from profits from the actual buildings and assets that we hold. As well as that, it's a social impact investment because it's going to do some good for the world. It's actually required and needed. Uh, yeah, Medicare Coin is the future. Okay.
Good, good. In under a minute. Yeah, that's good. To our viewers, in order to learn more about the project, please do visit the website And if you allow me, I would like to actually share it so the viewers can actually have a little bit of a feeling about your website.
Okay.
I hope that we can see it now. If we can't see it now, then means I'm having some technical issues. Paul, can you see it?
Not at the moment, Xavier. Sorry, no.
Okay, well, it will appear. It seems that I'm having some technical issues, but it will get
Okay.
better. Um, in the meantime, not to keep you waiting. Now you have the token. How does the
hmm
token get involved in the whole project and ecosystem?
Well, the token is built on Binance Smart Chain, so it is. It's a BEP20 token. Uh, the token will be actually listed and sold in DEXs and to raise liquidity, and then the liquidity will actually be used to acquire prime medical and healthcare real estate into Medcare Exchange, which will be the holding company, Real Estate Investment Trust. As the token will also be a share, it'll be a hybrid, so therefore it'll be both a token and a share within the public limited company, and the token will actually be used to raise liquidity, acquire the properties into Medcare Exchange, and also to it'll be actually a share as well. So that's where the hybrid part comes in. It'll be both uh, a token, a crypto asset, and it will be a share in a public limited company and a real estate investment trust. So anybody that holds the token, owns the token, has a share in the property. Uh, that's pretty much the structure of how the token functions and operates. So
Great, thank you. Uh, Now, obviously, big part of this is about investment. Now, let's
mhm.
focus on that because a lot of our traders would like to be interested in that part and the return. What can investors expect when they're going to invest in the token?
Well, as I said, like MedCareCoin, it'll be both a token and for anybody that has a long-term position in it, it'll be actually a share in the holding company. So they will actually have a share in the property itself that the token is registered and the share is registered too. So they will actually, the capital appreciation on the property that's held, the increase of the token value that'll be index linked to the capital appreciation of the property, and an annual return dividend after associated costs on the property that the Medcare Exchange and the token holds. So there's three different verticals there in value increase with the holding, long-term holding of Medcare coin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's where the value is in the token. Yeah.
Okay. Can you please explain a little bit about the IEO? Will you already have the IEO or are you going to have it?
Oh, we're bringing the AO shortly, so we are via LA token. So LA token are going to be managing that for me. We're actually we're on TokePi at the moment, but it's early days, so it is. So we're going to have to increase our volume trade book and work on our trade book to increase it across various exchanges and across various pairs also. Yeah.
So when is the approximate date of launch?
Well, I don't have an precise exact date yet, but I'm working closely with the LA Token team to uh, to get the date, nailed down. So it's very close. It's very close.
Okay, are we talking April?
Yeah, I would think so. Yes.
Okay, and I assume you're going to have on your website certain information about it, right? To notify traders.
Of course, we'll be updating the website to include LA Token's link to the actual token itself for acquisition. We will actually be running marketing campaigns as well to raise awareness of the token, on its
Great,
launch. Yeah.
great. And again, to our viewers, please visit the website. You can see it below in the banner, MedCareCoin.com. Or you can also go visit latoken.com. We'll have the announcements there. Or you can also link to us in their Telegram channels, and we have the announcements. And we'll for sure have it there before time because, as you all know, the earlier you join, the better, as the value or the cost of the token will be lower, and later on it will just increase the
Yeah.
price. So that's just a call for action. If you do not have an account in Latoken, then please visit latoken.com. You go to open an account. You only need one piece of document, an ID to upload, and then you're ready to trade. So, okay, thank you, Paul. Let's go back into our questions. Now, there might be other projects involved in real estate and blockchain. But what makes your project different so that investors can move forward and invest in it?
Well, our project specifically focuses on one segment, one sector of real estate, and that's prime medical and healthcare real estate. As well as that, out of all the sectors, we believe it's the strongest value proposition. So it is. There are a lot of other startups out there and existing companies within blockchain and crypto, but they're focused more so on residential, those type of assets. And really, residential can be cyclical. It can be boom bust every 10, 15 years. Whereas in prime medical and healthcare, there's always going to be a supply demand chasm, which makes it a worthwhile and more value proposition segment. As well as that, there's the social impact factor as well. Like it's for a good cause as well, developing those sectors, looking after people that are getting old. They're going to be old in 10, 15 years time, 20 years time. So yeah, that's what sets MedCareCoin apart from other cryptos that are working within property and real estate, I believe.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. Indeed, I have seen certain blockchain companies dealing with a little bit of timeshare or vacational properties, but I haven't seen one that's focused on this niche market, which is the real estate for medical purposes. So that is quite unique from what I've seen. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about what the future will hold. I know nowadays it's very hard to forecast what's going to happen in 1 year, right? Because you have political issues, technology, you have supervisory issues, and so on. But where would you wish the project to be in 3 years from now?
The project's 3 years from now. I'd like to think that Medcare Exchange will be actually developed. The token will have taken traction, will have grown exponentially across a number of dexes, and we'll have acquired a substantial number of properties into the actual holding company itself. We'll be just going from strength to strength. That's where I'd hope to be in 3 years' time. In actual fact, that's where I believe we're going to be. So, yeah, very excited and very positive going forward, of course.
Definitely, it is always an exciting time, and
Yeah.
it has all the potential because, as we know, one of the main points for a business to be successful, there has to be a need in the background
Yeah,
to
of
satisfy a
course.
need. And actually, as we discussed, there is a need. Uh,
Yes,
there is a
a,
need
ma-
to
a
this.
massive requirement and need. Yes, there is definitely. Not just in Europe, all across the world. There's requirements for new medical and healthcare facilities, care homes, hospitals. Uh, uh, Sorry, what's this? Is
Yeah,
this the website now?
this
Yeah,
is your
go ahead.
website.
Okay.
Go ahead. I would like you to finish.
Yeah, need and requirement definitely, as I said, that there's an aging population and the supply demand chasm is ever increasing. So yeah, I believe Medicare Coin has got a very bright future ahead of us. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to show a little website so our viewers can have a feeling of what can they find there. And once again, it is MedCareCoin.com. You'll find information about the wallet, about us. And actually, oh, you can actually right now buy the token, right? Through
Of
PayPal,
course. Yeah.
Pi, and Rarible.
Uh-huh.
That's very good. And these Crushman, Colliers, JLL, they are partners or advisors at the
Uh,
moment?
they will actually be acquiring the properties via only accredited advisors such as the big four retail or commercial retail advisors. So yeah, it's just we want to make sure we're working with the right people on this. So going forward, yeah.
And in this sense, when a property is acquired on
Hmm.
paper, in the title deed, who's the owner of it?
Well, the property will be actually held on a real estate investment trust, but it will also be a hybrid company, so therefore it'll be a public limited company. Each token will be equal to one share in the hybrid company, so the actual properties will belong to the token holders, who will be the shareholders as such. So yeah, everybody will own the properties on trust, if you follow. Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, that's very good to have a trust, and it's here. Assets held on Medicare exchange underwritten by stable token MedCareCoin. Okay, yeah, it's here. Definitely. Okay, fantastic.
Medicare Exchange will be the mainnet blockchain, so it will be used for track and trace purposes, so that all transactions are recorded, and there's full transparency for accountancy purposes, so security
Yeah.
also, of
Mm-hmm,
course.
mm-hmm. Okay, okay, very good. Um, okay, then we have all the as we mentioned, the companies that will be your advisors and the brokers, the top four big ones. We have the
Hmm.
competitive advantage, which we already touched a little bit based on this.
Hmm.
And by the tokens, here's the team, so complete transparency. And here are the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, TikTok, and so on. So, to our viewers, it's a great time to get involved, and especially time is the case now. If the IO will be in a token held in April, then it's time to actually jump on it immediately. As soon as it will be out, again, it will be the information about it will be in MedCareCoin.com and will be in token.com. So please pay attention to that, and we will, of course, beforehand start announcing it in the usual official media channels. Paul, with that said, the company does, the project has a bright future. So I do think you're targeting a is could say structure need out there. You can
Hmm.
satisfy that, and at the same time mix it with blockchain, which is what our traders are interested in. So that does actually make sense from the investment point of view. So very good for that. Lot Token is really happy to partner with you and assist you in the launching of it. Now, do you have any final words for our viewers today?
Not necessarily, just invest in us, get behind us. It's definitely a worthy investment. So yeah,
Okay, great.
looking forward to see the tokens market reaction, how it goes, building my book with the tokens. So yeah, they're a good team of guys, So looking forward to
Great.
working
So,
with.
Paul, thank you very much for giving us your time. Have all these a lot of insights for us. We hope to have you again on the show. Maybe just before the
Excellent.
lunch or maybe after. We could have a
Yeah.
lot of more questions prepared. I'm sure our viewers will be interested. And then to our viewers, well, thank you very much for participating, for giving
Mhm.
us your time. And then we'll see you at the next show. And until that, stay safe. Paul, you have
Thanks
a
for your
great
time, Trevor. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Bye bye.
goodbye.
Bye bye.